just 6 days later. Jesus took Peter, James, and John up a mountain, and there he transfigured before them. His clothes became dazzling bright, whiter than anyone on earth could bleach them. And there appeared before him Elijah and Moses talking with Jesus. Peter spoke up, "Rabbi, it is good for us to be here with you. Let us put up 3 shelters, one for you, one for Elijah, and one for Moses." For he did not know what to say. He was very frightened. Then a cloud appeared, and a voice from the cloud, "This is my son, whom I love. Listen to him." Suddenly they looked, and nobody was there except Jesus. And as they were coming down the mountain, he gave them strict instructions not to tell anybody what they had just seen until the Son of Man had risen from the dead. So they kept the matter to themselves and discussed with one another what rising from the dead meant. And they asked Jesus, "Why do the teachers of the law say that Elijah must come first?" To be sure, Elijah does come first to restore all things. "Why then is it written that the Son of Man must suffer? But I tell you, Elijah has come, and they have done to him just as they wish, as it is written." And when they came to the disciples, they saw them arguing with the teachers of the law. And Jesus asked them, "What were you arguing about?" "Teacher," a man from the crowd said, "I brought to your disciples my son, who was possessed by a spirit that robs him of his speech. I asked your disciples to drive out the demon, but they could not." "You unbelieving generation, how long must I be with you? How long must I put up with you? Bring the boy to me." So they fetched the boy to Jesus, and as soon as the spirit saw him, it threw him into convulsions. "How long has he been like this?" Jesus asked the boy's father. "Ever since childhood. Often it's tried to throw him into fire and water and tried to kill him. But if you can do anything to help, please show us mercy." If you can, all things are possible for one who believes. I do believe. Help me with my unbelief. And then seeing a crowd running to the scene, Jesus rebuked the demon, saying, "You deaf and dumb spirit, come out of that boy and never enter him again." The spirit came out with a shriek. And those standing nearby said, "He is dead." But Jesus took the boy by the hand and stood him to his feet. And afterwards, when he was alone with his disciples, they asked him, "Why could we not drive out the demon?" This sort comes out only with prayer and fasting. On the way to Galilee, Jesus said to them, "We're going to Jerusalem, and there the Son of Man will be handed over to sinners. They will arrest him, they will kill him, but 3 days later he will rise." But they did not understand and were too frightened to ask. And when they came to Capernaum, Jesus asked them, "What were you arguing about on the road?" But they remained silent, for they had been arguing about who was the greatest. Calling his disciples together, Jesus told them, "Whoever wants to be great amongst you must be servant and slave of all." "Teacher," John said, We saw a man trying to drive out a demon in your name, so we stopped him, for he was not one of us." "Do not stop him," Jesus said, "for whoever is not against us is for us. Truly, I tell you, if anybody offers you so much as a cup of water in my name, because you belong to the Messiah, will not fail to receive their reward. And if anybody causes one of these little ones who believe in me to stumble, it would be better for them if a large millstone was tied around their neck and they were thrown into the sea. If your hand causes you to stumble, cut it off. It would be better for you to enter life maimed than with 2 hands and be thrown into the fires of hell. If your foot causes you to stumble, cut it off. It would be better for you to enter life crippled than with 2 feet and be thrown into the fires of hell. And if your eye causes you to stumble, pluck it out. It would be better for you to enter the kingdom of God with 1 eye than to be thrown into the fires of hell, where the worm that eats the eye does not die and the fires never cease. Everybody will be salted with fire. Salt is good, but if it loses its saltiness, how can it be made salty again? So I say to you, have salt amongst yourselves and be at peace with one another.